How can I help you, friend?
Greetings, apprentice. Looking for orders or here for advancement? Opening bracket Otis opens and reads a letter closing bracket. I believe I spoke too soon. Aurelia is seeing ghosts now. Are you getting sloppy, Aida, or is Aurelia further gone than I thought? Before you answer that, stop by her house and make sure she's okay.
Let's set aside our rivalries and talk, shall we?
Well, hello there. A pleasure to meet you.
Do you see him, Aida? That wispy Dunmar fellow in the corner. I never got his name, but he arrived shortly after I had my last bit of nectar and he's refusing to leave. Remind him this isn't a tavern. I've got no room for guests. He doesn't seem to want to talk to me.
Why have I been summoned to commune with this Outlander woman? She drinks the sacred nectar, yet is a stranger to Great House in Doril. You smell of Velg. You must be to blame for this insolence. Certainly a noble orator like yourself means no disrespect. Outlander or not, the woman Draconis shows great potency in her spirit channeling. Escort her to the town of Dondril and speak with the Indarial Lord there. He can arrange transport for her to Rodire. Whoever the Lord is in this age will show great interest in her talents. If you do this, I can assure you these visits will be on much friendlier terms. Goodbye, Aida.
Ah.
Well? What did that spirit fellow have to say? Dondril? Oh, I've always wanted to visit there. My great-great-great-uncle Constantius fought a great battle there. Dondril is in Hammerfall, right? Opening bracket Aurelia Draconis is now following you, closing bracket.
The Nine and the Empire, citizen.
I'm not sure I even like the taste of Velk tea. I'm not sure why I bothered buying it. Netch leather tea tastes just fine. I'm not sure I even like the taste of Velk tea. I'm not sure why I bothered buying it. Netch leather tea tastes just fine. This place has far too much orange for my taste. I remember when everything around here was green. Tandril, Gondor, which one was it again? I'm not sure I even like the taste of elk tea. I'm not sure why I bothered buying it. Netch leather tea tastes just fine. So many wispy women, or men, or actually how can you tell? Can anyone tell?
I enforce both Andariel customs and Imperial law. Move along and mind your manners. You can usually find local craftsmen bartering wares in the Craftsman's Hall. If you can get a hold of what you want there, take the road south to Vho. Its local twang has plenty of goods on hand. Of course, an outlander like you would probably be better off heading north to Old Bonhart. You looking for a place in Dondril or the local area? Here in the village, the hutman lives in the Wage Tower above the Craftsman Hall that overlooks the marketplace. Not much else around here but farmer shacks and fields. What else did you expect to find in a tiny village? This is the village of Dondril, citizen. It is home to law-abiding and hard-working farmers and simple craftsmen. There aren't a whole lot of notable people in Dondril. Hetman Melisfero represents us common folk to our lords of House Andoriel. He doesn't take kindly to outlanders barging into his house, so don't expect a friendly welcome. Besides him, there's the village witch hunter, Giloro Sevlar, and the village smith, Fothras Vorum.
Well, I've finally made it. Constantius, how nice of you to show up. Aida, this is my great-great. I don't know how many great-uncle Constantius. He was a great warrior, you know. He's trying to tell me something about Menumnabi, but I haven't a clue what that means. Oh, he's leaving already, and to think we just met. Thank you for bringing me here, Aida. I'm sure they'll treat me just fine.
What's this? Why have you brought this woman in here? Ah, I see. I'm not one to argue with the spirits. Here's a reward for fulfilling your end of the bargain. By the gods, does she ever stop?
Thank you for bringing me here, Aida. I'm sure they'll treat me just fine. Now how does that song go? Oh, there once was a hero named Ragnar the Red. My husband and I have a few temporary setbacks, but nothing that cannot be overcome by perseverance.
By the gods, does she ever stop?
We welcome you freely.
You seem like very good
I
men.
will assist you.
Greetings,
However,
apprentice. Looking for orders or here for advancement? I haven't gotten a letter from Aurelia in a few hours, so I assume you've done it. Bravo. I don't care what other payment you've received. Not having to deal with her anymore is worth every penny. I'm all out of work for you. Check with Sharnoga upstairs.
Hail. May your adventures be great.
You here for orders or advancement, apprentice? Or was there something else you wanted? The Fighters Guild recognizes you, Aida. You are now Aida the Journeyman. Your talents are noteworthy, but some question your depth of devotion. Perform more duties for the Fighters Guild and you will earn your place. Sorry, Journeyman, this needs a warrior I know I can rely on. Focus on your skills and advancement within the guild and check back when you have. Perhaps Fotis downstairs has something for you. Fighters Guild, and goes, too. Fotis received a letter from Aurelia mentioning an angry spirit manifesting in her home. I've been tasked with clearing that out. Aurelia Draconis told me an angry spirit was summoned in her house. The ancestor spirit told me that Aurelia Draconis showed great potential as a spirit channeler. I was tasked with taking her to Nillisfaro and Dondril to serve in Doril. Aurelia agreed to accompany me to Dondril. This is going to be a long trip. Aurelia made it to Dondril and apparently saw a ghost of her dead ancestor Constantius in the city, who mentioned something about Minamabi. The headman Nillisfaro paid me a pittance for my trouble, but took Aurelia off my hands. Fotis paid me extra for my troubles and is thankful he doesn't have to deal with Aurelia anymore. A Bondheart, A History. Volume 1. By Aurelia Draconis. A Bondheart. An ancient dark elven city destroyed by pride and folly. A bustling port and a symbol of imperial commercial prowess in the wild east. A Bondheart is both these things and more. Firm historical records concerning the Bondheart of old are hard to come by. It is presumed that most of the documents that might prove of interest to historians were kept within the city itself and subsequently lost in the Great Fire that consumed Bondheart at the beginning of this Third Era. Sadly, most of what remains is incoherent and largely apocryphal. Bondheart was a great city of the Dark Elf people, built sometime in the First Era along with its great rival, the city of Mournhold. It is said that the two cities continually competed with each other for the right to call themselves the most beautiful in all Morrowind. When the king of Bondheart demolished a row of houses to build a statue garden, the king of Mournhold would knock down an entire quarter end. Hire the finest sculptors in all Tamriel. It is unfortunate indeed that no paintings exist of Bondheart at its height, for they would surely command pride of place in the Museum of Tamriel in the Imperial City. Whilst the accounts are vague in their exact details, it seems clear that by the closing decades of the Second Era Bondheart was a shadow of its former self. Although many of its most stunning pieces of architecture were still standing, the passage of time had not been kind to them. Mournhold had long since eclipsed Abonhart as the cultural, political, economic and religious capital of Morrowind, and the money and will to restore Abonhart were completely absent. It was at that point when the leaders of Morrowind, the tribunal, signed the armistice with Tiber Septime and Morrowind became part of the Empire of Tamriel. The men and women of Cyrodiil have a knack for business, so when the lands of the East opened up for the first time, many Imperials jumped at the chance to visit these strange places and hopefully make a bit of money as well. These link-minded individuals formed the East Empire Company and dispatched a delegation to Abonhart to negotiate the setting up of a trading post in the city. Abonhart is very well positioned on the mouth of the Great Thur River, so most of the trade from inland Morrow into the rest of Tamriel passes through its gates. The EEC hoped to kickstart this trade, which had languished under years of neglect. As the delegation made its way overland across the Villis Mountains and up through Morrowind, they were impressed by the dark elves they met and their willingness to integrate with the Empire and its trading routes. At Almsthur they boarded a ferry making its way north along the river to Abonhart, their mood optimistic in their thoughts of cooperation and the benefits thereof. But as they neared their destination they saw the sky fill with smoke and their good mood disappeared like a tiny pebble thrown into a vast river flowing towards a city ablaze. Abonhart, A History. Volume 2. By Andoriel Aurelia Draconis. Opening bracket. This manuscript is clearly unfinished. The margins are full of corrections and alterations, and some of the handwriting is barely legible. Closing bracket. The first volume of this book covered the history of Abonhart up until the opening years of the Third Era of Tamriel. This volume continues the story to the present day. To fully understand the fires that consumed Abonhart at the beginning of the Third Era, one must make a door into the mindset of the Andoriel. The Andoriel are a great house honoring both the They ruled primarily in central east of Morrowind, and at one time were the most powerful of all the Dark Elven tribes. Although they had passed their power into the Provincial House by the end of the Second Era, they still hold arguably the two greatest cities in Morrowind, the Mourninghold and Almaliza run in the Ebonheart and Colonel Ra Athene. As a result, many of the Andoriel look down upon Westerners as inferior, holding members of other races in complete contempt. They chose to forge their faith in the crucible of suffering rather than submit to foreign rule. Although Mournhold suffered from the mass self-murder of the Andoriel leadership, it dishonored its old rival Kalan by not committing more firmly to their faithful course. Every Dunmer of noble blood elected not only to destroy themselves but to destroy their homes as well to make room for the fire. Bizarre though that may seem to outlanders, one must bear in mind that the nobles must engrave upon their eyes the image of injustice. As from the heart the light, one must yield to faith as the ghost guilds in glory. So the nobles built funeral pyres in their homes. How black their hearts as they roasted fiercely. Loyal servants and retainers lit the pyres and spread the flames throughout the Andoriel chapels of Abonhart, creating an atlas of smoke. Fires were soon raging everywhere, even in the Velothi quarters, but they said no elegies for the melted stone. The cowardly Velothi fled and became Enwa under the two-headed. King Strix. We can have no opinions of this truth. By the time the Imperial officials arrived in Abonhart, the city was cleansed of heresy, but festering wounds lived on and began to gather anew. The Enwa enlisted the help of their legion to rebuild the city in their black-hearted form. These Enwa settled on up the bones of my ancestors. Like Vivek, I hold the Rock of Lies intact above the Kalan as an instrument of justice should the faith of the people fade entirely from Whiterun. Ultadun our lords and gods Stella Uvar Yikamir Hianshi and he will yet one day will it again. Kill Abhoriel, and Wudrahaden the devil dances under the gash of the Startil Shar Yeulman Alot I will never rest Adirith Dolden I will never forget Aruium Kar this Enwa is mine. Opening bracket the rest of the manuscript is a completely illegible mess. Closing.
Let's set aside our rivalries and talk, shall we?
Keep moving.
I'm Elvil the Nort, Guild Guide. I provide instantaneous transport between various mages' guild halls in Morrowind. What is your destination? I can also help with local information. Do you need services? Are you looking for some specific place? Or for someone in particular? The Mages Guild is dedicated to the preservation and distribution of magical knowledge. Pursue your studies diligently, Aida, and the benefits of belonging to the Mages Guild will become clear to you.
What is it, friend?
I don't think we've been introduced. Outlander. I'm Andyne Modris. How can I help you? You'll find a wide range of services here in Akimura. The Underground Bazaar offers a large selection of wares all gathered in one convenient place. The Mages Guild, Fighters Guild, and the Ragtong all have guild halls in Akimura, though the Imperial Guilds are smaller in scale. Finally, the Laughing Goblin offers everything you'd want from an inn. Akimura is an architectural marvel, a city built over generations into the very cliff sides of the mountains above them full of vales. The local economy is based mainly on egg mining, and the Akimura egg mines are some of the most productive in all of Morrowind. Such high yields have led to intense competition between the different mine owners. It gets confusing keeping track of them all. The largest one is the Inbaran Very Egg Mine, owned by the Inbaran family, and with the Very family being major investors. Ervel Senum Egg Mine is the next largest, and is owned by Novus Senum and his close ally, Rose Ervel. Then there is Tyranit Paris Egg Mine, owned by Telera Paris, and the minor Valan Salaneth Egg Mine, jointly owned by Darius Baron and Roland Salaneth. Finally, there's Abanidanan Egg Mine, which is the property of the temple.
May you find all that you seek, traveler. you find all that you seek, traveler?
Akamora has quite enough of you Outlanders here already. Aida, please keep your visit short. We're in the southern part of the Infernal Vales. To the north lie the lands of the Kalvani, often a source of trouble for us. Nearby landmarks include the ruins of Dunnercathel and the In-Between, both located to the southwest. It is a famous ruin to the southwest of Akamora and a popular destination for adventurers. In ages past, it was a great city, one that rivaled Mournhold in virtuous beauty. Legends say that a dragon, who had befriended the Lady Almalaxia, once resided there. Today, its ruins are an ominous and dangerous place. And in just southwest of here. Not hard to miss, as the only road out of Akamora eventually leads you there. A wonderful place. Actually, if the inane ravings of a Nord about his vampire hunting adventures don't spoil the atmosphere for you, the innkeeper must have a great deal of patience.
Under sun and sky, Outlander, we bring you
I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Healer Valden. How can I help you? You're an Outlander, maybe you don't know about the kinds of Daedric ruins we have here in Morrowind. Daedra cults worship the bad Daedra. You can learn more about that at the temple. Anyway, long ago, before the temple put a stop to it, people used to worship bad Daedra Moloch, Baal, Malakath, Sheogorath, and Meronstagan at Daedra shrines. But lately, since the Empire came in, some people have taken up worshipping the bad Daedra at these old sites. And I warn you, these are dangerous places. The Laughing Goblin is owned by the Arenon family. They sell drinks and rent rooms at the inn. Outsiders oftentimes make their stay there.
What do you want, Outlander?
Welcome to the cliff city of Akamora, Aida. Don't let the fancy manor houses fool you. Akamora is first and foremost a mining town. While you'll find quite a bit of commerce going on at the underground bazaar, it's the Kawama eggs that are the town's main source of wealth. Nobles own and finance the mines while slaves and the poor work in them. Everyone else finds their own niche in between. We have quite a few slaves here in Akamora. Most are bet-merry, beast folk that is, but there are also a handful of human ones along with an Altmer Teller Perry's purchased some time ago. The majority are used as laborers for the egg mines, though a few of the richer nobles keep some in their manors to do housework. She's well known in Akamora for her ambition. Not only does she own Tyrannet Perry's egg mine, but also the underground bazaar and the Laughing Goblin. It seems like she's always looking for new ways to expand her control of the local economy. Many people think she's dead set on becoming counselor and is trying to upstage the Synims and Indorans.
Honor me. Please speak.
Lawton Lolvo told me of you joining the guild, Warrior of Spell. If you are prepared for your first set of orders, let me know. I am a Miro, drillmaster and swordsman of the Fighters Guild.
I like what I see.